Welcome to another episode of Crypto Cliffnotes. You got me, you got Pat, and we got the creator of Bad Fox Motorcycle Club, Ben himself. Appreciate you, man, for being on here. How you doing today, bro?
I'm very good. Thank you for having me on.
Hey, thanks for being on here,
Thank
man.
you.
We just recently started, probably about a month ago, just giving people the value of all these projects, not just from us, but from the creators themselves. And I'm glad you responded back. I know you guys just came out recently. You guys are doing pretty well, especially in the secondary market. You guys have some exciting things coming up, and I really want people to see the value behind this project from you. So, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, how you got started into cryptocurrencies and or NFTs, and, how Bad Fox came out about.
Okay. Oh, my name is Ben. I'm 25, almost 26. I live in Tel Aviv in Israel. Yeah, I started crypto February 2021. I mean, I always heard about Bitcoin, never really looked at it or did my research. But then Elon, I was just, focused on his work, Tesla, SpaceX, and then he tweeted about Dogecoin. So I was like, what the hell is this? Okay, let's get some. I bought about maybe 500 tokens, but those 500 tokens 8x in 1 month. So I was like, okay, this is interesting. Now let's do some research.
Right.
And yeah, I started learning about blockchain, decentralized, centralized, what is proof of mining, stake, first gen, second gen. I started diversifying, growing my portfolio a bit, getting to know a bit of everything. I tried to experience myself with all sorts of smart contract based blockchains like EOS, Tezos, Avalanche, etc. But then eventually I found myself at home with Cardano, and that's when I was like, okay, this is the future, and this is where I want to be. And yeah, as soon as I went all in on Cardano, I was still at the mindset of, I don't really understand NFTs, why buy a JPEG? But then I really understood that there's some underlying technology which you can utilize, and that's what makes the NFT worth it. So I started investing in that as well, building a portfolio, taking losses, taking profits, everything, gaining that experience. And after several months of being part of these many communities, I started working on Bad Fox. Not we're actually a team of 3. So Chris and David are my co-founders. They also live here in Israel. David is actually the lead artist, and Chris is a helping hand on the art, and he's also helping out a bit on the community end. But yeah, when we started talking about creating a project, it wasn't just, oh, let's do something. It was actually, they wanted to just do something. I wanted to do something for the space, being from the space. David and Chris, they don't know NFTs that much. Actually, I've spent several weeks educating on the topic before we actually started working on anything. So it was quite an experience, just having to educate someone else and eventually build your own project together. The idea actually wasn't Bad Fox at first. We were going to be, there was no Mad Dog at the time. There was just Boss Cats and Smoothie Yetis. So we wanted to follow that trend of adjective animal vehicle club. And well, we thought about just doing the female version of Boss Cat Rocket Club, which would have been named Miss Cat Rocket Club. But as we started working on the art and the prototypes, it just didn't feel right. So we scrapped that all, and we started doing our own thing. Mad Dog just launched our Discord at the time as well, when we scrapped. So we thought, okay, well, Mad Dog's getting a lot of hype. Cats already have their thing. What else can we do which doesn't exist? And we figured out that Fox, well, it kind of looks like both a dog and cat, but it doesn't exist yet. And the only 2 projects that ever existed on Cardano as a Fox, they were rug pulls. So it was exciting to be the first legitimate Fox. And that's how Bad Fox came to life.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is. I like what you said about about your story, how you diversified and you got the experience before you hopped in. I think that's key, especially in this space, especially for creators in this space to get the experience, get the crypto experience, get the NFT experience before you just hop in and create a project. Because a lot of people try to do that and their projects fail long term. It might be successful within the first week or two, but after that the hype falls away. What are you going to do when the hype falls away? That's when the experience comes in. And I think you choosing Cardano is a great choice. Me, Pat, we were into Ethereum and Solana NFTs prior to getting into CNFTs, and it was an experience, I must say. Ethereum, higher gas fees, higher prices to mint at the time. Of course the fees have slowed down a little bit over there. There are honestly, it's the main NFT marketplace. It has the most volume, has the most adoption as of right now. And then Solana, their network's on and off. They just had a hack going on within their ecosystem. So, they're always having a problem. Not to, down Solana at all, because it did its thing last year. It definitely did great last year. But then we came over to Cardano, and it was great. The communities, the support. I'm sure you've seen it. You've seen tons of projects helping you push out your whitelist spots, or push out your next drop, or push out your guys' foxes, and you guys are collabing, doing poker tournaments, doing games together. It's a great community. It's all love over here, and I think that's the best choice you probably made, was to choose Cardano. And of course, you guys are doing pretty good on the marketplace. So I'll let Pat take the next one.
All right, so let's go over just some basic stuff. So give us a date of like when you came out, basically your mint price, that kind of thing. And then, you know what I mean, what the next step with the project will be.
Well, we minted our Fox collection July 15. The OG mint price was 42 ADA, the whitelist was 52, and the public was 62. And post mint, we found floor prices moving everywhere between 40 and 60, but it seems to have found that average is 50. Sure, it may be 10 ADA less than the public mint price, but I wouldn't see that many complaints about it. In fact, I see whales appreciating the current price because that gives them the opportunity to accumulate in the longer term. So it's an interesting aspect, but that's pretty much about mint itself. And what we have.
What's your supply?
6,000 Fox, and we sold them out in 34 hours.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And what we have coming up next is the motorcycle collection, which is going to be 3,000 motorcycles. We're going to drop that in September or October, around that time frame. It's important to note that the motorcycles are not going to be parts. They're going to be complete motorcycles already assembled. And instead of having, let's say, one model with changing skins, we're going to have actually multiple models, and they will have changing traits. So you can have a Harley Davidson with different traits, and you can have a Vespa with different traits. So it's going to be that idea. Now, what we actually do for both the Fox and motorcycle collection as an utility is distribute 80% of the royalties back to all of the holders. So there's no bullshit of raffling some of the top rarest or only a small percentage. It's literally you hold, you get. And that's what we're doing for both these collections until we have our burn event in Q4, which would allow you to burn 2 Foxes and 1 motorcycle to get a bad key. And with that key, you would be getting airdrops for future metaverse collections. We're creating, or we already started working on 3D avatars. We have partnered with Data Labs for box avatars for Boss Planet. These will all be airdropped after the burn event. So speaking of 3D and motorcycles, maybe I can show you some of my...
There we go.
There we go, yeah. So let's see, share. There we go. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I just want to flex this Astro.
Nice.
Yeah. So
got the fish tank.
I won't be showing the Fox collection because that can be already seen on our website. We have an entire catalog over there with all the traits and everything. But for the motorbikes, so there are some sneak peeks we have over here. Let me pull up a couple. Wait, that's the wrong screen. So this is, for example, our chopper, you know, like kind of Harley Davidson style. So you can see this has some of the spikes on it, which are going to be traits. The skin and color are going to be traits. We haven't put too many traits on these yet because these are just first sneak peeks. But then you have, let's say, the Vespa model, which the skin as well, the Medusa Fox is a trait. Now, actually, oh, I don't want to show or say too much, but Chris just created a very cool trait for this motorbike. It's a rack for your surfboard. So you have an actual surfboard on the motorbike. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and this is our third model, which has already been created. This is the Ninja Sport Bike. Actually, this is the old version. There's an updated one with swords. Let me show you that one, this one here. So this is the updated Ninja. You see, there's some swords in the back over there. The model itself has also changed a bit than the previous one. But yeah, these are our motorcycles, so some of the sneak peeks. This can be expected in September, October. And the 3D avatars that we were supposed to work on next year, we've actually started working on them right now. And this is our first model, the male model. It's not rigged yet, but it's being rigged right now. Rigged meaning that it will get animations, can move and all that stuff. So after the male model will be rigged, we're gonna create and rig the female model. And then on top of these models, we're gonna build all of the traits from our collection. So we're gonna provide 5,000 of these. Of course, most of them will be airdropped and the rest will be sold to whoever does hold the first and second collection after the burn event.
That's cool.
Awesome. That's awesome.
They look good.
Yeah, they do.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now with the foxes and the motorcycles, what exactly are these going to be used for? So obviously you have, I know you said you can burn them and get some key that will allow you to get some airdrops in the future, but what will the foxes and the motorcycles coming together, what are you going to be using that for? Is that going to be for a game? Is that going to be for a metaverse? You know, could you give the audience a little bit about you know, a little information about what these are going to do?
Yeah, because our first and second collection are primarily focused on rewarding ADA through royalties, we even had some additional funds from public sales. We had more public sales than discounted pre-sales. So we're using that as well to distribute the ADA to the holders. But because the primary focus is to reward first and second collection holders with ADA, we want to actually increase the reward opportunity for those who do hold the collection, while also giving a different opportunity to earn in a different way. So when you choose to burn 3 of your NFTs, right, we have 6,000 Fox, 3,000 motorcycle. If you burn 2 Fox and 1 motorcycle, even at 100% burn rate, all those 9,000 tokens eventually end up being 3,000 keys at a maximum supply if you have 100% burn rate. Now, I doubt that's going to be situation. People want to keep their rares, of course. They want to keep on accumulating on royalties. So what's basically going to happen is that if you do hold first and second generations, right, Fox on motorcycle, you keep on getting the royalties. But if you hold the key, which you got from burning your tokens, you basically get all of what we provide for the metaverse, not our own metaverse, but for other metaverses. You get all that for free. So our 3D avatar is already going to be, you can already use it the day we drop it within the OG Bears OG verse. Now, it's going to take time until they fully develop their OG verse, but they already have the bear homes released. And you can already use your 3D Fox in the home phase. So it's not like it's just going to be another avatar sitting in your wallet. You can actually use it. So that's for 3D avatar. And then we also partnered with Dot Labs to provide, as I mentioned, Fox avatars. Now, Dot Labs, they do specialize in the Sandbox standard, but they also provide work for the Boss Planet standard. So we're going to focus our Vox avatars for Boss Planet. And we've also partnered with Counterstacks, which have given us an entire floor in the MetaView tower. So that will allow us during Q4 also to develop a motorcycle club in the floor. Where you can play and you can hang out and bet and earn and all that stuff. With OG Bears, we also have a mini game coming soon, a Bear versus Fox road motorcycle racing mini game. There's really lots of metaverse related stuff coming, and this is all going to be provided for free to key holders as long as you burn. If you don't burn, that's okay, but you still get royalties. You just, if you want to be part of these drops, you will probably be whitelisted for it, but not airdropped. So eventually everyone wins in either way, whether you burn, whether you don't, whether you hold, whether you trade, right? Because trading increases volume, which is important for the royalty distributions. There's also something that we do want to do after the avatars, is try and convert our motorcycles into metaverse compatible vehicles, but that will be a bit more difficult because you need game physics for that. So we need to find the right team and partners who can we can hire their services to work on these. We do want to purchase also land in multiple metaverses, where on these lands we can build more motorcycle clubs. Yeah, we have lots of plans, but this is all after the burn event and you get it for free, literally.
So I got a question for you. If I wanted to get a one of these motorcycles, are you doing that some deal with, like, is it for your holders? Is it going to be completely public? How's that going to work?
If you hold 3 Foxes, then you can get whitelist for 1 motorcycle. Now they do stack, so holding 6 Fox or 9 Fox will acquire you 2 or 3 whitelist. Exactly.
Okay. And then what's the min price going to be? Is that out?
That's going to be 85 ADA per motorcycle.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And then my next question. So if you, when it comes to like the royalties and all, right? So is it going to be the royalties of all the projects?
No, it's per policy holder. So if you hold a Fox, you get for Fox. If you hold a motorcycle, you get for the motorcycles. And each of them get distributed with the mark of 1 million in volume. Now we might change that to 500K. We'll have to analyze the market during August and understand what's right for the bear market. But with that, we have these targets where we distribute them.
Gotcha. Sounds good.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, you kind of answered a lot of the questions I had about metaverse, game, who you partner with. I think it's great that you guys are partnering up with different metaverses, because a lot of people, especially newer projects, they try to put the metaverse topic on their roadmap or their white paper, and it's like, all these metaverses aren't going to make it. And that's just the reality of it. All these metaverses aren't going to make it. And you got to be, especially with project creators, you got to be careful, who you're partnering with and, who you're doing the metaverses with, because in reality, who's actually working on the metaverses? You never know. It's all speculation right now. I mean, we got the biggest ones, Sandbox and Decentraland, which is still in the beta version. It's still in beta version that you can only go in and do so much, but I think it's, in the next couple of years, you're definitely going to see a lot of metaverse movement and a lot of games coming up that are going to be big. I think that industry is going to be very large, and I think it's smart to, start partnering up with the projects that you feel that are going to make it in the end. I think it's key. I think you picked some pretty decent ones too, for sure. Pat, did you have another question?
Well, you did touch base on like partnerships. Do you have any? What other partnerships do you have? Like, do you have any other than the Bears? Are you working with any other like CNFT projects? Like, I know you said you're building on like metaverses, but like, are you planning on doing any other work with any? Like, are you guys doing anything with Boss Cats or anything like that other than their metaverse? Like, I know like Kong's dropped their Voxes through, or you're doing it the same way.
No, that's the thing. All these collabs, Vox collabs, right? I think we had Llama, Kongs, and
Baby aliens, I suppose they're
yeah.
coming.
Oh yeah, and there was also the ADA CryptoPunks or whatever they were. So all these collabs, right? These Vox avatars are actually created by the boss team.
Okay.
So what we're doing is actually, instead of having to partner with the alpha itself, we're partnering with a third party provider, which can provide the very same services, but then at a cheaper cost, or doesn't even have to be the alpha itself. Because you see, if you want to be part of Boss Planet, then you have to rely on the boss team to get the avatars. It's just not fair. They don't partner with everyone. They don't have the time or the efforts to do so. It's also important to give the opportunity to smaller teams. Those that
Absolutely.
are skilled, they should definitely deserve the opportunity to be recognized as well. And why always the alpha?
Yeah, no doubt. It's good to outsource.
100%. I agree with you on the bigger projects, working with the smaller ones. Of course you got to be careful who you work with. You got to be willing to work with someone that you trust, but at the same time, you can never be too big for the little things, and if you're too big for the little things, you're too little for the big things at the end of the day. So you got to be.
It's also about like some sort of, I would say, monopoly. Eventually, if you are the alpha and you're the only one who can provide services, then it's a monopoly. And speaking of monopoly, you could actually see something similar happening right now with JPEG Store. Right, so before JPEG became a thing, there was just CNFT.io, and then just at a time, I think there was maybe Epoch Art and maybe Artifact, and there were all kinds of marketplaces surfacing. But JPEG really, took the spotlight, which is great. It is great, but not only is it dominating as a marketplace, it's now also replacing CNFT tools and NFT Seeker, all these kinds of services which create Discord bots, right? For role verification, sales, listings, you already have teams and services providing these. No, but then JPEG comes out with this announcement, and again, a monopoly. I'm not a fan of that. I'm sorry. It's good. It's great. Fine. You're building. You're developing, but don't kill competition. In fact, you should embrace competition.
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. Like I said, we kind of called that one out. I mean, as soon the whole issue with CNFT, they took forever to get smart contracts. We're like the first person, whoever comes out with smart contracts for Cardano is taking over, and it took forever for CNFT to follow up.
He did,
and that killed them. If they would have followed up like the week later or whatever, it'd have been fine. But they waited way too long, and their entire audience moved over. And now that you can put offers on JPEG and all, in my opinion, it is a better place. But that's good, because guess what? Some big person's gonna come and compete with JPEG. It's always gonna happen. That's the world we live in.
The great thing about the Cardano network, I will say, is like, at the same time, it looks like competition, but at the end of the day, they are trying to work with them, and they are trying to, uplift together. It might not look like that, but I've talked to a lot of, we've talked to a lot of creators, and they're always willing and always open to working with different projects. We've had projects not answer us, and that's fine. But we've also had projects respond back within seconds, willing to hop on this show, willing to hop on calls like this. So, at the end of the day, as long as we stay focused on the end goal, we stay focused on what we got to do, it'll all come together, and we'll all be uplifted together. But yes. I guess our last question would be, are you going to be able to make it out to CNFTCON in October? Or is that a big stretch? I know you're in Israel and stuff, so that is kind of far. Are you going to be able to make it to CNFTCON?
On a personal level, I really do want to make it, but I just simply can't. First of all, we're going to have the motorcycle drop and the burn event just around the same time. So we have too much work to focus on.
Yeah.
But also because the travel itself, right? If for me, it would require a visa, not just a travel visa. It would actually require a business visa, because if I would go to CNFTCON, it would be to promote bad
for
talks.
work.
Exactly. So it's kind of complicated. I will try to aim at next year, but this year I just can't make it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's good.
Hey, as long as you try to get to one, we're gonna be there.
They'll be all over the world.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure they'll have them in different countries too. You know,
Yeah,
they
all over.
have it in the US, they'll have it in Europe, they'll have it in, you know, all types of countries. I think that's exciting. But yeah, Pat, did you have anything else you know, before we hop out of here? Do you have
No, not really. I mean, I think we touched base on pretty much everything. It worked. This went pretty good.
Yeah, good. Did
I
you
do have a little alpha something if you like.
Yeah.
Oh
Hey.
yeah, we'll always take some alpha. I thought the photos were the alpha.
Hey, we get more alpha. The more the better.
Yes.
You're familiar with Clay Nation, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. We minted clay.
Okay. Cool. Oh, you minted them. Oh, cool. I didn't have the opportunity, unfortunately. But what we are doing though is our entire treasury is staked with the clay pool, and we've purchased some clay pitchers, and we are baking some good charlottes, and all of this is to accumulate clay token. Eventually, what we'll do is, if you let me just mute this. Eventually, if you collect a set of trades, you will get a Discord role for that trade. And if you hold the role, then once you've accumulated all our tokens in the treasury, you would get a share of those tokens just by collecting the sets of trades.
Okay, that's a nice one. That's
Awesome.
really nice. Yeah, actually, I noticed that we were actually probably going to come up with a little video on that about the baking and everything with Clay Nation.
Cool.
So
cool.
that's a cool one. I like that. I
Yeah,
definitely like clay. Like you said.
I haven't heard one with clay yet. That's awesome.
That's
Awesome.
That's nice. Yes. And then, I mean, I don't know if you're in any, but they also have a staking pool that you would get rewarded clay.
Yeah. We've staked our treasury there, and also my private wallet is staked there.
Yeah. Perfect.
There you go.
I have it there too.
Yep. Awesome. Well, look, man, Ben, we appreciate you for, you know, coming up on our show. You know, we look forward, if you guys have anything ever you guys want to come up on here, maybe talk about your motorcycle drop coming up when it gets time to, you know, talk about that. If you guys want to share anything else, anything alpha that you guys want to come up on here, 5, 10, 15-minute video you want to do with us, just let us know. We're more than welcome to have you on the show. Everyone in the CNFT space is home for us. So, you know, we just want to, you know, our intention, our goals with all of these interviews is just to bring out and share the value of the CNFT space, community, NFTs, the artists, the developers, all of it coming together. I think it's an amazing space, and we just want the whole world to see, you know, how it is over here. All right. So appreciate you, Ben, for being up on here, sharing all the alpha, sharing all the
Thank you.
project. Thank you guys for all that watches this. Please make sure you guys get in their Discord, check out their Twitter, their website, their JPEG, you know, go to JPEG store, go ahead and check out their secondary. You know, hopefully you guys like this video. Hit a like, put a thumbs up on this video, and go ahead
And subscribe.
Again, appreciate you guys, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.